All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into what it's really like to live and work in Bangkok. Based on this fascinating guide from moveandstay.com, a website that's been helping expats navigate Asia for over 25 years. You've been thinking about making the move there, right? Well, get ready, because Bangkok is a city of contrasts. It's a blend of modern and traditional, where ancient temples meet skyscrapers, and street food vendors share sidewalks with luxury malls. It's exciting and a bit daunting all at the same time.
Yeah, what's interesting about Bangkok, it's not just the visual contrast, it's like this clash between old and new. It's woven into every aspect of daily life there, from the way business is conducted to how people interact with each other. It's something you'll experience firsthand, and frankly, it's part of what makes the city so captivating.
So this guide jumps right into cultural adaptation, and it makes a really interesting point about saving face. It's not just about being polite. It's almost like an unspoken code of conduct. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The concept of saving face goes deep in Thai culture. It's about preserving harmony, avoiding confrontation, and maintaining a sense of dignity for everyone involved. This impacts everything from how feedback is given at work to navigating social situations. It's something you need to be mindful of constantly.
And speaking of navigating, the guide stresses the importance of social integration. It says that while expat groups can be a good starting point, connecting with locals is key. Any tips on breaking the ice?
Well, learning some basic Thai is a fantastic way to show respect and open doors to genuine connections. Thai people are generally very welcoming, and even a few phrases can go a long way in building rapport. Think about it being able to order your street food in Thai or greet someone with a sawasdi. It can make a world of difference in how you're perceived.
Makes sense. Now on to the language barrier. The guide is pretty clear. English might get you by in tourist areas, but for daily life, and especially work, you'll need at least some Thai.
Right. This is where that 15 minutes a day on a language learning app can really pay off. Imagine being able to negotiate a price at the market, or having a basic conversation with your neighbors, even understanding the signs on public transportation. It's about feeling more comfortable and confident in your new environment. Plus, it demonstrates a genuine commitment to integrating into Thai society.
I can see how that would make a difference.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the cost of living. I was surprised to read that Bangkok isn't necessarily the bargain it's often made out to be.
Yeah, that's true. It really depends on your lifestyle choices. You can find budget-friendly apartments further from the city center, starting around £400 per month. But if you're looking for a centrally located condo with amenities, expect to pay more. It's all about your priorities and what level of comfort you're seeking. For example, living along the BTS SkyTrain line will be pricier, but it could save you money and hassle in the long run on transportation.
That's a good point. Speaking of budgeting, let's explore how far your money can actually go in Bangkok. The guide raves about the street food scene, claiming you can get a delicious filling meal for as little as £1 to £3. Is that really possible?
Oh, absolutely. Street food is a huge part of Thai culture, and it's incredibly affordable. You can find everything from pad Thai and curries to fresh fruit and snacks for unbelievably low prices. It's a great way to experience local flavors and keep your food budget in check. But be warned, Western restaurants and imported goods can be surprisingly expensive.
Good to know. Okay, we can't talk about Bangkok without addressing the legendary traffic. This guide doesn't sugarcoat it. Rush hour can be a real test of patience.
Oh, yeah. Bangkok traffic is infamous for a reason. It's a dense city with millions of vehicles, and congestion is a daily reality. The guide recommends factoring in extra time for your commute, especially during peak hours, and exploring alternative modes of transport like the BTS SkyTrain or MRT subway, which can be faster and less stressful than taxis or buses during those times.
Yeah, that makes sense. So much to think about when it comes to getting around. We'll have to dive deeper into the transportation options in a bit. But first, let's talk about something else crucial for anyone considering a move to Bangkok, finding a job.
What I find fascinating about Bangkok is that even with the traffic, the city has a certain energy that's hard to describe. It's a place that never sleeps and that can be both exhilarating and exhausting.
Yeah, it sounds like you need a certain personality type to thrive in that kind of environment. The guide talks about finding your own rhythm in Bangkok. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, it's about understanding that Bangkok is not a one-size-fits-all experience. Some people dive headfirst into the chaos, embracing the late nights and the constant hustle, while others seek out pockets of tranquility, spending their weekends exploring temples or relaxing in rooftop gardens. There's no right or wrong way to experience a city as long as you're finding what works for you.
So it's less about trying to become a typical Bangkok resident and more about figuring out how you fit into this incredibly diverse and dynamic city.
Exactly. It's about personalizing your experience. Maybe you discover a hidden jazz bar tucked away down a quiet soy, or you find a community of expats who share your passion for rock climbing. It's about those little discoveries that make Bangkok feel like home, even if it's thousands of miles away from where you grew up.
That makes sense. This guide also emphasizes the importance of community, especially for expats. It recommends connecting with other expats for support and advice, but it also stresses the importance of building friendships with locals. Do you think that's realistic given the language barrier?
Well, the language barrier can be a challenge, but it's not insurmountable. Many Thais, especially in urban areas, speak at least some English. And remember, even basic Thai can go a long way in building rapport. But beyond language, it's about shared experiences. Imagine taking a Muay Thai class with local classmates, or volunteering alongside Thai people for a community project. Those shared experiences can create bonds that transcend language.
Yeah, I can see that. The guide also mentions the job market in Bangkok. And it sounds surprisingly diverse. It's not just about teaching English anymore, right?
Right. Bangkok's economy is a fascinating mix of multinational corporations, startups, and traditional industries. There are opportunities in finance, tech tourism, and everything in between. The guide highlights the growing demand for skilled professionals in fields like IT and engineering. Of course, teaching English is still a viable option, but you'll need a TEFL certificate and a competitive mindset to stand out in a crowded market.
And speaking of competition, the guide mentions that corporate roles can be quite competitive, especially for expats. What advice does it offer for navigating that landscape?
It stresses the importance of tailoring your CV to the Thai market, highlighting relevant skills and experience. Networking is also crucial, attending industry events and connecting with recruiters. And perhaps most importantly, the guide emphasizes the need to be patient and persistent. The job search in Bangkok might take longer than you're used to, but with the right approach and a bit of perseverance, you can find success.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about healthcare. This is a big concern for anyone moving abroad, and the guide seems to recommend private medical insurance as a must-have. Why is that?
Well, Thailand has a universal healthcare system, but the quality of care can vary significantly. Private hospitals generally offer better facilities, shorter waiting times, and English-speaking staff. The guide also advises having a dedicated credit card or cash reserve for medical expenses, as you'll often need to pay up front and then claim reimbursement from your insurance provider.
That's good to know. And for those moving with children, the guide highlights the importance of international schools. It mentions that competition for places can be fierce, especially at the top-tier schools. What should parents be aware of when navigating this process?
Choosing the right international school is a crucial decision for families moving to Bangkok. The guide recommends starting your research early as the application process can be lengthy and competitive. Factors to consider include the curriculum, location, facilities, and of course the fees, which can vary widely. Attending school open days and speaking with other expat parents can also provide valuable insights.
Okay, so we've talked about jobs, healthcare, schools, all the essential ingredients for building a life in Bangkok. But let's not forget about the fun stuff. The guide paints such a vivid picture of the city's vibrant nightlife and cultural offerings.
Oh yeah, Bangkok really comes alive at night. From rooftop bars with stunning city views to bustling night markets and live music venues, there's something for everyone. The guide recommends exploring different neighborhoods, each with its own distinct vibe. For example, Sukhumvit is known for its upscale clubs and restaurants, while Khao San Road offers a more backpacker-friendly atmosphere.
And speaking of atmosphere, we can't forget about the temples. The guide describes them as islands of tranquility in a sea of chaos.
Bangkok's temples are not only stunning architectural marvels, but they also offer a glimpse into the city's rich spiritual heritage. They're a place to escape the hustle and bustle, to reflect and to connect with something larger than yourself. The guide recommends visiting Wat Arun Wat Pho and the Grand Palace, but honestly, even stumbling upon a small, unassuming temple can be a truly magical experience.
It sounds like Bangkok is a city that truly rewards exploration.
Absolutely. Whether you're wandering through bustling markets, discovering hidden street food stalls, or simply soaking up the energy of the city from a rooftop bar, Bangkok is a place that constantly surprises and delights. It's a city that invites you to step outside your comfort zone, to embrace the unexpected, and to create your own unique adventure.
So for our listener who's considering taking the plunge and moving to Bangkok, what's the one piece of advice you'd offer, based on all the insights we've gleaned from this guide?
Go with an open mind, a sense of adventure, and a willingness to embrace the unexpected. Bangkok is a city that can be challenging, frustrating, and utterly exhilarating, often all at the same time. But if you're willing to dive in headfirst to embrace the chaos and the beauty in equal measure, you might just find that this extraordinary city becomes a place you truly call home.
It's interesting, this moveandstay.com guide. They really emphasize balancing the practicalities of living in Bangkok with embracing the city's energy, like a dance between navigating the logistics and surrendering to the chaos.
Right. Yeah, and what's cool is this guide, being from moveandstay.com, it really highlights the long-term perspective, not just surviving your first few weeks in Bangkok, but truly integrating into the fabric of the city, whether you're there for a month, a year, or a decade.
Yeah, it definitely goes beyond typical tourist advice, almost like a blueprint for building a life in Bangkok, not just ticking off sites on a checklist. But they also acknowledge that this integration process, it can be messy and unpredictable.
Oh, for sure. This isn't a city that reveals its secrets easily. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to get lost, literally and figuratively. And it's in those moments of uncertainty, when you're stepping outside your comfort zone,
Right.
that you truly begin to understand what makes Bangkok tick.
So for our listener dreaming of swapping their daily grind for the sights and sounds of Bangkok, what's the one key takeaway they should keep in mind?
Hmm. I'd say Bangkok is a city that demands your full attention, your respect, and your willingness to embrace its contradictions. It's a place where ancient traditions coexist with cutting-edge technology, where spicy street food stalls sit in the shadows of gleaming skyscrapers, and where the frenetic energy of the city is punctuated by moments of serene beauty. It's not always easy, but it's always captivating.
Sounds like you're saying Bangkok is more than just a destination. It's a transformation.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
city that will challenge you,
Mhm.
surprise you, and ultimately change you in ways you never imagined. And for those brave enough to take the leap, the rewards are immeasurable.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the heart of Bangkok, courtesy of moveandstay.com, a website that's clearly been guiding expats and travelers through the intricacies of Asian cities for years. We've explored the challenges, the rewards, and the sheer exhilaration of embracing this extraordinary city.
And for our listener now daydreaming about bustling markets, golden temples, and the symphony of tuk-tuk horns, we say this: take a chance, pack your bags, and let Bangkok weave its magic. You might just find that this vibrant, chaotic, and utterly captivating city becomes a place you truly call home.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep diving deep, and keep seeking out those extraordinary adventures that await just beyond the horizon.